everyone, it's Arlene Garcia Art of the Hollywood Carney YouTube channel. Today we will be creating a chakra bracelet in less than 15 minutes. Each energy center has a vibrational frequency awareness of the chakras and can improve your life in beneficial ways. The 7 chakras meditation system focuses on making the chakras open and keeping them regulated. If they shift into blockage, this may stunt your physical and psychological well-being. These energy points have been the subject of breathing techniques, meditation, and mantras. In a quiet place, meditate on removing the negative energy from each point. At this time, you may start with your affirmations or mantras. I designed this very simple and elegant chakra bracelet with a hamsa and 1mm black cord and 7 semi-precious stones. I also added square knots for easy on and off. This was so much fun to make that I made myself 2 of them, and I also made several to sell in my Etsy store, and I was so happy with the outcome that I wanted to teach you guys how to make them. After being at the recent Bead and Gem show, I picked up some really amazing metaphysical charms. Of course, if you don't have sterling silver ones, use what you have on hand. The stones I used are 4mm, and I used a 1mm black cord with 20 gauge sterling silver wire, and of course use whatever wire that you have on hand. Also, if you decide to sell yours on your tag, make sure that you write the stones that you're using and what your metal is made out of and what charm that you are using. That will be very valuable information to your customer. So the next one I made, I used in silver embroidery floss, complemented with cat's eye beads and the hamsa, the hand of God, Mary, Miriam, Fatima, and the goddess, used in many cultures worldwide for protection, luck, health, and happiness. So let's get started. There's the sterling silver wire, super glue, clear nail polish, or a lighter. 1mm black cord or a color of your choice. 7 4mm chakra stones, 4 to 12 sterling silver spacers, a ruler, and a variety of lucky charms. And last but not least, you will be needing needle nose pliers, round nose pliers, and cutters. I time myself, that's how I know it took 15 minutes, and there's the clock right there. We might want to add like 4 or 5 minutes because I had to focus the camera and talk to my boyfriend while I was making this. So we've cut a 3-inch piece of sterling silver wire. I'm going to wrap it 3 times and make sure that the coil is perfect. If you're new to making this type of a loop, practice on a regular piece of wire because we don't want to waste sterling silver. It does get a little pricey at times. The coil should look like this. Now let's put on our 7 chakra beads. This one is for the crown chakra. It is amethyst. We are going to do our 3rd eye chakra. This is lapis. I love the brilliance of that color. Next will be the throat chakra. I am using amazonite. The next one is your heart chakra. I'm using green jade. The solar plexus is citrine. And some of my stones are smooth and some are faceted. And I like it that way. If you're pretty picky, then you can just make all yours smooth or all faceted. The sacral chakra is orange garnet. And the root chakra is rhodonite. Now we are going to make another loop with coil. And at this point, if you have a little charm, then it is important that you put it on now and make sure that your loop is balanced with the other loop so it looks nice and clean. And also when you're trimming the edge of the wire off, make sure that you press it in so it doesn't scratch you or someone that you're giving it to. Another important thing is make sure that all of your chakra stones are in the right order. If they're not, somebody may notice. Oh my gosh, look how cute that looks. It's so simple, but yet it makes a statement and it helps our well-being. You can use this same technique and make a super cool ankle bracelet, especially now during the summer. That will look awesome. Now it's time to cut two 16-inch pieces of cord. This particular one I purchased at Michael's. It came on a yellow cardboard. I don't know the brand of it, but it was at Michael's. Put one of the pieces through the loop and tie a simple overhand knot. This will keep it from shifting. And of course, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And then we will need to cut about a 10-inch piece of cord, and we are going to do square knots. And I try to do it as simple as possible so you could follow along with me. And the bonus about that is you will not have to purchase a clasp. If it is done firmly and correctly, it will last you for a very long time. One of my bracelets that I'm wearing, I've been wearing every single day and night for about 4 months, and I have not had a problem with it falling off or coming unknotted. So let's cut that 10-inch piece of cord, and let's just do a basic knot and tie it on the bracelet where the inside will be touching your wrist. Once you learn how to do this particular knot, I bet you will continue to do this on many bracelets to come. So we are going to take the left cord and cross it over on top, leaving a loop where my thumb is with the pink nail polish. Take the right cord over the left tail and go under and through the loop. Pull it firmly. Now we're going to do the opposite side. So make sure that is snug. Gets a little wiggly in the beginning, but once you're hooked, you're totally hooked. Cross the right cord over, leaving a loop where the blue nail is. The left cord over the tail of the right. Go under and through the loop. Pull firmly. Repeat this process until you have about 5 or 6 square knots. Make sure that it looks nice and neat. And if you make a mistake, pull it out and do it again, and you will be happy in the long run because you want it to look perfect. I love adding specialty knots like this into my jewelry because people really appreciate the handmade artistry that goes into each piece. I mean, even the loops that we make for the wire wrapping, as long as that is perfect, people will be very happy. And it will increase your jewelry sales. And as you can tell, I'm a perfectionist when it comes to wire wrapping and knotting because I do sell my jewelry, and I want to share all of these techniques with you, hoping that you will sell yours as well. And when you don't have any mistakes, you will sell more and more and more. Yay, I'm loving the way that square knot looks. I hope yours looks like that as well. Oh my gosh, and we are almost done. I'm going to do a couple of more knots, and then I am going to test it by putting it partially on my wrist to make sure that it would fit someone. If you feel that you need a larger bracelet or that it is for a man, you may want to increase it by 2 inches. So that means that you would be cutting 18 inches instead of 16 inches. If you are creating it for a young child, you may want to decrease it by 2 inches. We are carefully going to cut the cord and use the lighter to fuse the edges together. Now you can use clear nail polish or super glue. If you are under 18, have an adult use the lighter for you, because we don't want anyone to burn their fingers, and the cord does get hot. I'm trying to be ever so close as possible to the edge, and I'm trying to make it neat where you cannot see it. So let's look, we're doing pretty good on time. Make sure all of the strings are balanced and carefully try it on so it fits over your knuckles before we continue. Now that everything seems to fit, what we are going to do is tie a very simple overhand knot, leaving about 3 or 4 inches. And we are about to add our spacers. It's better to have too much string than not enough. So now that you tied your knots on both sides, you can use 1 spacer per string, or like I'm doing in the example here, I'm using 3 spacers per string. So let's pick up 1 little spacer, and if you feel that you can't get that through, then light it or cut it at an angle. You can also use beads, and that would look really cool too. Just make sure it has a big enough hole. And then so what we're gonna do is we're going to just tie a very simple overhand knot, and we are going to cut it by the knot and use the lighter again, or super glue or nail polish. I like making the dangles about 1 inch long, then that way they're not too long and they don't get caught on everything. So now repeat the same on 3 cords, and also it would be cool if you had 4 different stones hanging, or 4 different little spacers hanging. So with my little interruptions and focusing the camera, I came in at just under 20 minutes. And the other ones that I made previously took me exactly 15 minutes or less to make. If you don't have access to the semi-precious stones, you can use glass crystal beads and it comes out just as pretty. Or you can make one of your birthstone. That would be awesome. See, look at that one. That's even dressy to wear at night. The ideas are endless, and you can even make a pink one or a blue one and put a little baby charm on it for an expectant mother. That would be totally amazing. So let's admire our work. I'm very happy with the way this came out, and I have several that I am going to put up in my Etsy store. And of course, I want to thank you guys for stopping by and spending this time with me. I hope you got some great ideas, and it is my goal to teach you the easiest way possible to make beautiful jewelry and art. And I hope you have the opportunity to look at my other videos, because there's lots of exciting things on there. Those are my other bracelets. Those 2 I'm keeping myself. Look at that large peridot. And I put a little bee on there. I also used sterling spacers that didn't match, and that's perfectly okay for me. It looks super cool. So I can't wait to vibe up my chakras with these bracelets. Thank you for watching and have a happy day. Bye.